Okay, hello guys. Today we are talking about partial fractions. Okay, so we to this part. Okay, so here you can find there are several different kind of the partial fractions. For example, like we have the distinct linear factors like px over x minus a times x minus b, because it equals to a over x minus a plus b over x minus b. Okay, that is it. So then also we can just like for this kind of the partial fractions like px over x minus a squared times x minus b, because it can be divided into a over x minus a plus b over x minus a squared plus c over x minus b. Okay, that is for the repeated linear factor. Okay, and for the third one, we can say that is like a px over x minus a times x squared plus px plus q. We can just divide it into two parts, like a over x plus minus a, and here then is for bx plus c over the x squared plus px plus q. Okay, that is for this kind of the equations here. Okay, so for example, like here, express is in the partial fraction. So just you can take a note of this line. So you're fine. It obeys the second rule, right? Repeated linear factor. Okay, so you can just try to factorize it like maybe here is 1 minus x times 2 plus 3x squared, right? So then it can be divided into a over 1 minus x plus b over 2 plus 3x and plus c over 2 plus 3x squared. Okay. So then you can try to make sure that the left equation equals to right equation. So first you can write down the right equation equals to 1 minus x times 2 plus 3x squared. So first fraction number that is for a times 2 minus or 2 plus 3x squared, right? And for second is for b times 1 minus x times 2 plus 3x. And for c is for c times 1 minus x, okay? That is for total equation here. And then you can try to just simplify it a little bit. So we can say here, that is for a times, maybe here is for 4 plus 6x plus 9. And the second one is for b times 2 plus 3x minus 2x. Here is for plus x. And then minus 3x squared, okay? That is it. Okay, so here is for 9x squared. Okay, sorry for that. And the last one is for plus c 1 minus x, okay? That is denominator. So you can just kind of simplify it as x squared together. That is for 9a minus 3b x squared, okay? That is the first of it. And then is x. We can say here is 6ax, right? So it's plus 6a, and then plus b, and then plus then minus c, right? Then minus c times x, right? And the last term is for the constant number is for 4a times plus 2b plus c. Okay, that is for this equation. And then we can try to simplify it a little bit. For example, like here, x squared means 9a minus 3b equals to 12. Okay, and 5x means 6a plus b minus c equals to 5. And the last term is 4a plus 2b plus c equals to 8, right? Okay. And for the three equations, you can just simplify it a little bit. For example, like you can add the second equation and the third equation. So once you add the 2 with 3, that will become 10a plus 3b equals to 13. And we already have 9a minus 3b 12 equals to 12 in the first equation. We can add it them together, right? Then we're only left 19a equals to 25. So you can then solving a, b, and c, okay? And that's how we can simplify the fractional equations. So once you meet them, just remember to use three kind of situations like distinct linear factors, repeated linear factor, and irreducible quadratic. Okay, so that will help you to solve all the problems. Okay, so that's for today's lesson. See you next time. Bye.